remember this big data set. We have this large data set stack over HDFS, stack overflow tags. Actually this data set, it is around 7 GB. We here we'll try to use 7 GB, and each block size is 128 MB. 55 blocks are there. Here we'll try to write a MapReduce program to count the number of lines in that particular file. What exactly the stack overflow data? Have you ever seen stack overflow question and answers? So people write technical questions there and some people give the answers, right? So what this stack overflow data contains, simply the question, answer and the tags. So each line is a question. So this is a 3 months or 1 month data set. So within 1 month, how many stack overflow questions were asked? So simply we just need to count the number of lines. Number of lines is number of questions. So we just want to count the number of lines. That is the objective. The reason why we are not using a single system, the dataset size is slightly large, 7 GB, and usual systems might not be able to handle it. Even if they could, it will take really longer time to give the result, whereas in MapReduce we'll try to do distributed computing. We divide the dataset into smaller pieces, and on each piece map will be running simultaneously. When we are counting the number of lines in first piece, we can simultaneously count on remaining for 54 pieces, and we can generate the output quickly. So that is the idea. So this is the data set. So we already started Hadoop. We can directly get into writing the MapReduce code. So here you can ignore some of the commands, because these are the commands for unzipping and then taking the dataset onto HDFS, which we have already done. Then again we will be in cd user local bin. We are already there. Here we will create something called line count dot java. So line count dot java is the program that we need to create. So this is the line count. So logic is slightly different here. Map function gives something else. It's not just map function will give the count, and reduce function will take all these counts and find the sum. That is what the so map and reduce programs are. So line count is the overall program name, overall function. You have map, you have reduce. So we will use map reduce style to count the number of lines in that particular data set. So here we wrote this code for line count.java. Save it, close it. Now come back here. Since this is Java, you simply want to first compile the program. Make sure there are no errors in that. Once you compile, create the jar file. That's what we have to do it in Java. If you don't know Java, simply follow the steps. If you know Java, then you know why we compile and why we create a jar file. Then once we created the jar file, you give the jar file and the final class, and then the whatever is the output, whatever is the input data on HDFS. Input data on HDFS, our name is slightly different here. We need to change this name, and then output folder name. So input data on HDFS, output folder name. Input data on HDFS, our name is slightly different. That's what we discussed. First we'll write the command here, and then we'll change it to our name. The name on our HDFS is stack over HDFS. So let me change that. It is not stack overflow HDFS, it is stack over HDFS. So this is the input, this is jar file, this is the class file, and this is the output folder path. MapReduce starts on each of the pieces. So there are 56 splits, right? Map is submitted to 56 splits. On each of the split, map starts, right? It will take some time. It's a 7 GB file. Map is working. Then slowly reduce will start. Map reduce. So map is working on each of these pieces parallelly. and then the output of map will be going as input of reduce. Input will work on it and give the output. How many number of lines, how many Stack Overflow questions were asked in that particular month is the final objective that we are trying to find out. The file size is 7 GB. How MapReduce works on it. Map 63%, reduce 0%. You can see in between how much percent map is completed, how much reduce is completed. Thing reduce has started. Output is generated. So output is stored where? Output is stored in user Stack Overflow out. You can check out the output from browser as well. You can go to browser, you can go to user Stack Overflow out, or you can simply print it here itself. So how many rows are there? Line count is what we wanted to see, right? Line count. Let us see. Output. The total lines. There are around 6 million total lines, which is like 60 lakhs. 6 million lines are there. So there were 60 lakh questions that were asked in a particular month of Stack Overflow on Stack Overflow website. As we told earlier, we can take this output onto a different text file. Since this output is just a single number, it doesn't really make sense, but still you can take the output from HDFS to a different text file if you are interested in getting that output. There is one more word count program. There is one more program for calculating the average. MapReduce for average. So this is an interesting program. You have stock price data on that average stock price calculation. But anyway, this one, the one that we just finished, is on a really large data set, that is 7 GB large data set. We are trying to find the number of lines, that is simply number of questions that were asked, and we got the answer as 6 million something.